How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about Castor Maritime CTRM. They came out with an update today and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So before we get started, of course, we got to go over an agenda. If you are new to this channel, just to let you know, we have timestamps down below in the description to make navigation even easier for you. So the first thing we're going to be covering is the recent update that came out. We already know CTRM is focused on expanding their fleet and the news has to do exactly with that. Then secondly, we're going to be doing a technical analysis, taking a look at the price action. Where are those areas of support if it decides to pull back? And where are those areas of resistance? Why is this key? We want to know if you're going to be buying into CTRM, you want to make sure you get it at a good price. And then afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. Are institutions loading up on CTRM? This is key to know because we know when institutions invest in certain stocks, they're looking for a return on their investment. And also we want to know, what is the market sentiment as far as, is there short squeeze potential due to the fact that many want to see the stock price actually lower than what it actually is right now? I feel this is very key because the short volume ratio is above 21%. What does that mean? There's a lot of short squeeze potential. Now, and then after when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. You know, in all my videos, I want to make sure you have a lot of value to add to your homework and as well as your own due diligence. So let's get into it. So now on the official Castor Maritime website, taking a look at their recent press release. So let's go over it for May the 17th. So Castor Maritime announces new vessel acquisitions and the delivery of the MV Magic Vela. Castor Maritime, a diversified global shipping company, announces that it entered through two separate wholly owned subsidiaries into agreements to acquire a 2013 Japanese-built and a 2014 Korean-built Panamax dry bulk carrier from unaffiliated third parties for a purchase price of $19.06 and $21.0 million respectively. The acquisitions are expected to be consummated by taking delivery of the vessels within the third and fourth quarter of this year and are subject to satisfaction of certain customary closing conditions. The 2013 Japanese-built dry bulk carrier will be delivered to the company with a time charter contract attached with a reputable charterer at a daily gross charter rate of $11,650 and with an estimated remaining term of about 2 to 4 months. The agreement for the 2014 Korean-built Panamax dry bulk carrier contains a final purchase price adjustment mechanism pursuant to which, in the event that the delivery of the vessel is concluded after July 20th, 2021, the purchase price shall be reduced by $10,500 per day from that day until the day a valid notice of readiness for delivery is tendered by the seller. The company also announces that on May 12, 2021, it took delivery of the MV Magic Vela, the 2011 Chinese-built Panamax dry bulk carrier it had agreed to acquire as previously announced on April 28, 2021. The MV Magic Vela acquisition was financed in its entirety with cash on hand. Pedro Padelitos, Chief Executive Officer of Castor, commented, "We are happy to announce the acquisition of 2 additional Panamax vessels. Following the delivery of the MV Magic Vela, our fleet consists of 14 vessels, and after the completion of all of our announced acquisitions, our fleet will consist of 26 vessels across the dry bulk and tanker segments." So this is definitely some great news to hear from Castor Maritime. They are increasing their overall fleet and the vessel acquisitions just keep coming in. This is great, especially since Castor Maritime is a great recovery play when things start going back to normal. I really like this. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for CTRM Castor Maritime. So let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing the day at 44 cents, being up 12.42% on the day. On the low, it tested 39 cents, and then on the high, testing 44 cents. So one of the things that we want to take a look at when we see this chart, and just to let you guys know this is a 6-month, 2-hour chart, is how well is it lined up with our indicators. So currently, it is below the 200-day and it's also below the 100-day. But as you can see, it's showing a bullish move riding above that 21-day EMA. So to continue seeing some strong price action, I'd like to see it come and reclaim the 100-day around 46 cents and then make that move to 50 cents. Do keep in mind this 50-cent area will definitely be a psychological area for Castor Maritime, but I'd want to see some strong movements here and then make that push all the way to around 55. Do keep in mind, remember they did do a direct offering around 65 and that's nearly right around where the 200-day is. So from what I want to see is continuous bullish movements. Also, if we take a look at the RSI down below, when it does get to this particular area of support, which is bounced off of around here around 35 cents, 36 cents, you can see on the RSI it is fairly low. It's within a buying range. It's in below that 30 range. So taking that into consideration, if it does decide to pull back, this does provide some long-term opportunities if you believe in the long-term prospects of CTRM. Another thing to also understand as well, it's showing some strong price action. So that's why if we look at the RSI currently, it is around 61. We already know if it's at 70 or above, then it's overbought. It is expensive, but at the same time, we've already seen the trajectory in the history of CTRM. Another thing also to take into consideration is this gap up that we have right here. And this is part of the reasons why if it ends up having a lot of momentum, we can end up making some gains and actually recovering and filling this particular gap area. So this is why it's very key to keep an eye on this 60-cent level all the way going here to around this 70-cent level. If we get into 60 and we start making that move, then that's how we can end up filling this gap right here. And I want you guys to take notice of that. But for the most part, it was great seeing some strong price action from CTRM. So look forward to seeing what happens as this week progresses and also towards the end of the month. So we're on fintel.io and we're going to take a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for CTRM. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So one thing that we could see right away for today, May the 17th, we've had a good amount of institutions who have closed out their positions. So just taking this alone into consideration as far as today is concerned, a lot of institutions decided to cash out. One thing we also got to take notice of the fact what was going down last week. So we have from the 14th, we also had some more institutions who closed out their positions. But also if we see what's been going down for the 13th, the 12th, the 11th, and even going back in the earlier parts of the month, to be exact, we're talking about early May, and also taking into consideration going into February, there's definitely been a lot of institutions who have opened up positions overall in general. So for the most part, from how it's looking, we can honestly say as of late, as of today, it wasn't bullish at all, but in the past we've seen there's some bullish behavior and institutions taking advantage of the dip that they're actually seeing. Also, do keep in mind for today, we still did have some institutions who have built out their positions or increased their positions, as we could see here from HRT Financial. We also have Marshall Waste going in with 256,000 shares. We also have Cap Trust going in with 2,000. Cube Research going in with just under 25,000, also Heartland Advisor Group and Holdings. So we're seeing definitely on today a lot of institutions cashed out or closed out their positions. So if we take a look at the short interest information here, as you can see, the short volume ratio stands at 41%. So we know anything that's above 21% definitely has a lot of short squeeze potential. It also does tell us about the overall market segment saying, well, you know what? They still think that CTRM is price high and the price needs to go down. So if we take a look at the short shares availability, it stands at 9.39 million updated 9 minutes ago. And if we take a look at the short borrow free rate, it is at 5.29% updated 9 minutes ago as well. Taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, it has been well above 21 for a very long time. Even if we go back as far as May the 3rd, we could see 40s, 30s. It's literally averaging a short volume ratio of 40%. So definitely, if there's more big time catalyst news coming out for CTRM, then you could see this stock could definitely take off due to the fact because the short interest is so high. So just keep that in mind, but also do know as far as overall market sentiment, they are not feeling too confident in regards to CTRM and they want the price to go down. So for my final thoughts for CTRM, the fact that after all of these acquisitions are over, they're going to have 26 vessels. They're definitely setting themselves up to compete in the dry bulk and tanker segment. We also do know this particular industry is going to benefit when the economy fully recovers. So taking all of this into consideration and seeing how CTRM is taking advantage of opportunities out there is great to see, especially if you are invested in the stock. Do keep in mind, in regards to the volatility, it is a penny stock, so I want you guys to understand that. We do see institutions are buying in, but as far as the short volume ratio, it is fairly high. So what does that mean? There is some negative market sentiment saying, well, you know what? The current price of where CTRM is at, it should be a lot lower. So just knowing that and making sure you put that into your due diligence, I feel like is very key. But one thing that I want to see from CTRM, and I feel like it will have an impact on the stock price and in regards to how it moves, are consistent quarters of profitability. We want to see revenue increases. We want to see the fruits of labor in regard to all of these acquisitions that they have been making. Not only will that be great for investors, but I feel like it will definitely benefit the stock price over the long term. So that's one of the things you need to look out for, understand if you're in this play, and I hope you guys enjoyed this update that I put together for you. So we'll be talking real soon.